Let go and let God. It's the most common phrase in Christian culture, and if we are honest, it is the most infuriating. It's meant to be a comfort, but it feels like an impossible command. Because how? How do you let go when your mind is a war zone of worry over your finances? How do you let God when a doctor gives you a terrifying diagnosis? How do you surrender when every survival instinct in your body screams at you to seize control, to fix it, to do something? You are not failing because you find this difficult. You find it difficult because you are addicted to control. It is your nature. Today we break the addiction. This isn't a gentle theory. This is a practical 4-step battle plan. Step 1, interrogate your chains. You cannot release a grip you deny having. You must first name your prison. Be brutally honest with God. What are you clinging to with a white-knuckle grip? Your career? Your kid's success? Your health? Your reputation? Name it. Drag it out into the light. Acknowledgement is turning on the interrogation lamp in the room of your anxiety. The Psalms are not filled with vague pleasantries. They are the raw, unfiltered logs of men like David naming their specific fears to God. That is where the fight begins. Step 2, the spiritual transaction. This is not a mental decision. It is a binding transfer of ownership. It is done through a prayer of relinquishment, a prayer that is a legal document before the throne of heaven. It sounds like this. God, I confess I'm trying to strangle this situation into submission with my own strength. My grip is tight because I am terrified. Right now, I consciously and deliberately take my hands off of it. I place this burden, this outcome, this person, this fearfully into your sovereign hands. I hereby relinquish my imagined right to control it, and I submit to the fact that your wisdom is infinitely greater than my panic. You will have to do this more than once. The enemy will try to hand your burden back to you every morning. Hand it back to God every morning. Win the transaction every single day. Step 3, hold the line. Once you have handed the burden over, your next task is to trust the one you gave it to. This is where the battle moves to the trenches. This is what Proverbs 3 means by lean not on your own understanding. You will not understand. There will be silence. There will be a period where it looks like God is doing nothing. This is the test. This is where you hold the line. It is the active, painful choice to believe God is working behind the scenes even when all visible evidence screams that He is not. Step 4, wage peace. Letting go is not passive, it is violent. You must violently replace anxious actions with faithful actions. It means you refuse to doom scroll for solutions at midnight. You refuse to entertain worst-case scenarios in your mind. This is how you fight. Philippians 4 says to replace anxiety with prayer and thanksgiving. When the urge to worry attacks, you counterattack with gratitude. Name 3 things you are thankful for. When fear whispers to you, you drown it out by reading a psalm aloud. You do not wait for peace to happen. You actively, brutally wage peace in your own heart and mind. So here's the battle plan. 1, interrogate your chains. 2, make the spiritual transaction. 3, hold the line when you don't understand. And 4, wage peace by replacing worry with worship. Let go and let God is not a gentle suggestion. It is a command to engage in daily, courageous spiritual warfare. It is the ongoing bloody process of casting down your own tyranny to accept the peace of a king. This is the secret to your freedom.